And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're going to take a look at the newest expansion for Descent Journeys in the Dark 2nd Edition, Manor of Ravens. This is another one of the small ones. They seem to alternate between the small box and the big box. Small ones don't excite me as much as the big ones do because the big ones usually add lots of stuff. Small ones add a few things, but the few things can be pretty cool. Let's see what's inside this box. The game comes with lots more map tiles, both inside and outside, that can be put together in different ways. And that's because the book itself comes with more campaigns, or actually a mini campaign, a very small mini campaign with a little map here, that you can also basically stick these into the deck with the new rumor cards that can be used. Now this campaign is going to feature this Skarn dude, so if you want a figure for him, right now the game, he's like a big golem type thing. If you want an actual plastic figure for him, you'll have to buy the lieutenant pack, because if you're like me at all, these tokens don't cut it. I want big lieutenants walking around. But let's take a look at the monsters that actually do come in the pack. We have two different monsters here. We have your Wraiths and Bandits. Now Wraiths and Bandits, Wraiths are, they're not the first type of time we've seen this sort of thing, but they have basically a death cry. And what death cry does is it introduces something new that can happen to players in this game, and that you can become doomed or get a doom token. Now this is not the only thing that causes doom tokens, but they have their death cry, which can do this to you. And essentially when you're doomed, anytime you take an attack, you get an extra damage. Although you can use a surge basically to get rid of it. So it's not hard to get rid of these, especially if you roll dice with surges. Other than that, the Wraiths are kind of normal. They have this Reaper thing where they can move really fast, which is a cool thing. When a hero within 5 spaces of them is knocked down, they can immediately move up to their speed and do another attack. So they have this, like, boom. But you have to knock somebody down for that, or knocked out for that to happen. I use them more for their doom and their death cry. The Bandits, on the other hand, they are not tremendously dangerous, but they have a special ability which is going to scare the snot out of the heroes, and that's their Pillage. See, their Pillage allows them, when they attack somebody, if you knock them out with that attack, you can steal one of their search cards. Yeah, you got something good this time? I'm taking it from you. I'm taking it back from you. And that fact, you watch when you play with the heroes, if you're the Overlord, which I'm almost always, you're going to see them kill these bandits because they're so scared they're going to take something from them. The bandits also can poison, and they have the black venom, which will poison and doom you. That's not all the Overlord gets. They also get 2 new ways that they can play in the game. You can try Unkindness or Enchanter. Unkindness basically lets you take different servants, different people, and make them better. This gives you one of your servants Shadow. This one gives a servant Ominous. This gives +2 to the health. While Enchanter gives you groups. You can affect groups of people. So play this one on a monster group, and each time a monster is defeated, each hero within 2 spaces takes a damage. So they're both interesting. Enchanter almost is like a defensive thing that the Overlord can play. Unkindness is similar, but it gives better abilities to one monster, while Enchanter gives lesser abilities to a group. But the coolest thing about the Unkindness one is this Unkindness summon. And this is one of the reasons that I'm often wanting to use Unkindness, because it allows you to summon a raven flock. Think of this as a summoned creature, but finally for the bad guys instead of the good guys. This is a raven flock. So you can use this card, you put it in front of you, this summon card, and you can exhaust it and put the raven flock servant next to that monster. That monster takes 4 damage. Okay, which sounds like a negative thing, but this raven flock rolls a red-blue to attack and a red-blue-yellow in phase 2, and a surge can do extra damage. Also with a movement of 4, that's just a neat thing. I kind of imagine like there's zombies coming near the big golem, and all of a sudden out of its chest, boom, a flock of ravens comes. And we all know that ravens are always bad. So these are cool things the Overlord has. Two new heroes enter the fray. We have Thaden Mistpeak, I guess. This guy has one of, in my opinion, not a very cool special power. Whenever he attacks, he can cancel the attack after the dice are rolled, and instead do a search token that's within 3 spaces. Okay, so you move near a search token, you have the ability to attack a monster. If you miss or doesn't do enough damage, you say, I'll forget that, I'm going to search instead. That's okay. I don't know why that's that spectacular. I would probably never pick this guy. He can immobilize a monster, move 3 spaces once per round, per thing, but even that's good, but I don't know, the ability's not so good. Alice Rain, on the other hand, whenever someone adjacent to her takes a wound, she recovers fatigue, which can be very handy. She's kind of a protector, and that really ties in with the new class. There's a new class called the Marshal, and I really feel like the Marshal should be called the Protector, because what the Marshal does is it's a good one to use to protect you. You have the Marshal. He's kind of a beast to bring in there. You pair him up with a mage, and he can do really quite a bit of damage here. So you see, he starts with a really good weapon. Blue-red. You can't recover fatigue while you're carrying this weapon, but who cares, especially when it's a surge that does an extra 2 damage. And this ring lets you add an extra shield to your defense. And then Retribution. Whenever someone 2 space of you attacks another hero, that monster automatically takes 2 wounds. Cost of fatigue, but still, that's very handy. And that's basically a way a lot of the different cards in this one works. You're allowed to, when monsters are near you, here you can exhaust this card. When they play an Overlord card, you get recover fatigue. And when you refresh this, choose a monster within 2 spaces, they take a damage. So just kind of a way for you to attack monsters that are nearby you. And I found that this person really works well at protecting the other players. Now, on the other hand, we have Thad here, who can now take the new class, as many other people can, that of being a bounty hunter. He can join Dog and his friends. Starts with a double crossbow, which again is another good weapon. Blue-red, Pierce 1, +1 range. Really enjoy that. That's the only thing he starts with, but still. And then this target. The bounty hunter comes with this target symbol that he can put onto an enemy, and basically he can track that enemy. He's now tracking that enemy, and so whenever he damages that enemy, you get an extra damage. But later on, you'll be able to get things like when you track an enemy, you can doom that enemy. Or when you attack a tracked enemy, you can test one of your skills, and then that monster can't spend surges on their next attack. Or reduce the monster's movement by 1. Or use this card here, this rapid fire. If you kill a monster, you can then make another attack with another monster if it was tracked. Now, you can only track 1 monster at a time, but it's still a neat ability. That's not the only thing that the bounty hunter has. He also has other special abilities, which are just, I like this one here. Exhaust this card when you perform an attack with a bow weapon. If the target is 5 or more space with you, the attack gets +3 range and +1 attack. This long shot just gives you the idea, not only is this guy a bounty hunter, but really good with ranged attacks. Or this one here, the Payday. Anytime you kill a master monster, they have to give you a search token on the map, and you can search it. So anytime you kill one of the big monsters, you can do that. It's a cool idea. Yeah, yes, you can only do it once per each monster group, but still, doing it once per scenario is worth having this card. The game also comes with rumor cards and more search cards and special relics that even the monsters can get, and then some more things you can go through. I like the Hammer of Doom here, for example. You can see it's 2 red dice, a blue dice can doom your opponent and add 4 damage if you roll 2 surges. Or this Winged Blade, where you can change one of the results of the defense die to whatever you want it to be. Really, really enjoy that. So there's some cool stuff here. The White Wolf Cloak lets you re-roll an attribute test. Don't know how useful that is, but it does also provide you with a die for defense. So some cool stuff in this set. Manor of Ravens is a good quality small box expansion for Descent. I mean, it's just like the other 2 small box. It adds some stuff. As a Dungeon Master, I really like bandits. I love that threat of taking your stuff. That really drives people crazy. So that's cool to add those. And the Wraiths, Ghosts are always fine. The hero classes, I like them both, but I think I like the bounty hunter better. That's one I would like to use very often. That the whole idea of tracking a person down, especially killing monsters that are harder to get. And then, of course, more scenarios, more stuff. And this is a very nicely, I think, well contained. You're going to hate that scarred guy by the time you're done playing it, like, if you want to. And if not, you can just add it to the stuff you have. I mean, I put all the stuff from that into these boxes, so I've still managed to fit everything from Descent in these 4 boxes, but it's getting closer and closer, but the amount of content now is huge. Is this a must-buy mini expansion? Probably not. I think the big box ones are much cooler than the small ones, but for completionists, you're going to probably want to get it, and you're not losing anything by grabbing this. And then, of course, you have the curse cards, which is a nice new status symbol to add, and just kind of a little bit more variety. Not a ton, but a little bit. I'm glad I got it. Die-hard Descent fans will be glad they got it. And if you're one of those, check it out. Well, you were going to buy it anyway, weren't you?
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!